Hey, it's Ubu, and today we're playing the demo for a game called Poolscape. It's developed by Cosmic Arcade, it's self-published, and you can find the game on Steam. There's no main menu, so that's why we're just kind of chilling here while I introduce the game. So let me go ahead and tell you about it, and we'll get started. Poolscape is a retro reimagining of the Poolrooms, evoking the nostalgia of classic PSX games by immersing players in the iconic liminal space with authentic 90s style visuals and atmosphere. Now that you know what the game is about, we'll go ahead and get started. As I was perusing Steam and, continually adding games to my list I'd like to check out one day, this one really caught my eye, so I figured we'd try it out first. And yeah, we're in a central hub area, which is the sky pools, and all of these slides will take us to each of the levels. It only looks like one level is available for this demo. As you can see, all these signs are blocking them, except for that one. So we'll check that out. So pretty excited to see how this goes. But we'll read this note first. Welcome to Poolscape. Here you will find some general information about the game. This is the demo and only has level 01 or level 1 and a brief glimpse of level 2 are playable in this build of the game. So the levels are: purple slide is the classic pool rooms, the metal slide is the mega structure, pink slide is the dream pools, red slide is the dark pool rooms, yellow slide is Nostalgia Springs, blue slide is Oceanscape, and green slide is to be announced. Alright, cool. Very cool. And we have our controls here as well, so we can crouch, sprint, interact, jump, and zoom in with our camera. Why would we hide the text? That's kind of weird. Anyways, yeah, cool. Interesting introduction there. So I guess we'll go ahead and look around a little bit and jump down this slide. Look at that water. That's cool. Bit of ambience with the wind blowing and whatnot, so that's nice as well. I wanted to look at this, whatever this is. Oh, it's like a little dev area, I guess, a little computer. I just really like how old computers look like that. That's really cool. So these are the credits. Okay, very nice. So great job, everybody. Inspiration, Puppet Combo, nice. Matt Studios and Lost in the Hyperverse. Very cool. Boy, we are way up here. Anyways, kind of a rough intro here. Sorry, it's usually a bit jarring when a game doesn't have a menu, and I don't know, it just kind of throws me off. But no big deal. We'll go down the slide. Eesh. Hey, here we are. Wow. Look at that. This is cool. Generally speaking, I'd say a huge majority of liminal space games, especially the big ones, are very hyper-realistic, so that's why this one caught my eye. I wanted to try out a PSX liminal space game, just see how it goes. Nice. So far, I'd say it looks great. It's playing on the... It kind of has this interesting appeal of playing on the nostalgia that some liminal spaces can convey, you know, with like malls and stuff like that, that most of us don't really go to anymore, or just some sort of dreamlike place that has some kind of odd familiarity to it. But also, the graphic style in this is playing on the nostalgia of old games that we've played growing up, so at least some of us. I think that's really cool. There's some green water. That looks bad. Oh my gosh. The scale of that is crazy. Yeah, there's an exit sign there, I guess. That's where we need to go. The warning. Algae water is toxic. Be cautious. Okay. About fell in there. There's a ladder though, so maybe we can climb out if we fall in. Anyways, great ambience. Sounds really good. I wish I had to figure out where to go, but with every liminal space game I play, I just kind of go with it. Just kind of pick a direction and see what happens. A rubber ducky. Nice. Deep water. Oof. Let's not go in there. Let's see. Nice big slides here. I don't want to keep... I feel like I'm imagining hearing extra footsteps coming up behind me. Not really sure why. Spooky. Anyways. Oh, wow, look at this. Very relaxing setup here. Bright. Bright holes in the wall. I don't know if we're gonna find any more notes necessarily. Maybe we should keep an eye out though. Alright. I think it's just us running up the stairs. Kind of throws the sound around a little bit. Oh, there is a note. Okay. There's something else in here. Oh no. December 12th, 1999. I hope not. I was kind of hoping we'd be alone in this place, but... they're probably just messing with us. That's an odd color. Is there blood coming out of there? Rust. Spooky. So far I'm into this. Oh, can we jump here? We can jump. Forgot about that, right. Okay, well. Made our way to the top. I'm distracted by my footsteps. It keeps sounding like there's some almost like an extra set or something. Or they're throwing an extra footstep in there, so it makes me think it's someone else. I'm probably just freaking myself out, so... I don't know. Can't help but react to it. Okay, here we go. I believe we came from that way, that other little crawl area there, so we'll go this way. Can't sprint while crouching. It's fine, that makes sense. Alright, there's some stairs here. I keep wanting to hit control for crouch, but it's C for crouch. Okay, this area has some windows. Oh, wow. Very expansive. This window's lit up. Hello, is anyone in there? Where am I? Help! I'm stuck in the pool rooms. This looks great. Pretty good use of lighting. They're able to break up sort of the color palette in a good way. If that makes sense. Has some dynamic feel to it. Oh, a UFO. Uh-oh. That's kind of spooky. That's why maybe the water's toxic down there. Kind of radiation. I didn't expect to see that. Interesting. I don't know if that plays on the lore of like the back room's just like all-encompassing dimensional, I don't even know, like black hole that everything can fall into, maybe even aliens. We're gonna go that way. I just want to peek around a little bit, see what's up. Oh. Okay. Yeah, we can go this way, right? Something breathing in here. Oh my gosh. All right. Cool. That was eerie. Oh my gosh, what could that be? It almost sounded like a crocodile or something. Oh my goodness. This looks awesome. I love the music too. This is giving me like kind of like PTSD from playing Dreamcore. There's a room where they have doors like this that just seemingly connects to everything in the first part of Dream Pools, the Dream Pools level of Dreamcore. And when I first played that game, the demo for it ages ago, I kept getting lost, and I would somehow always end up back in a room like this, and I'm just like, let me leave. It was driving me crazy. I love this. This is so cool. Really solid ambience. It does so much of the work in games like this. When you have really good ambience that conveys and matches the tone and the appeal of where we are, I just think it just goes a long ways. Is this toxic? Is this gonna hurt me? Okay, we're good, I guess. Her shoes just start to melt. This looks cool too. It says don't go this way. Anyone in there? Hello? Okay. Let's go this way. We'll be having a great day. We're just hanging out, playing a really cool game. Little plant. Oh my goodness. This area has deeper water. A bit more sloshy as we're walking around. I like the symmetry here. It looks good. Jeez, dude. There's kind of like a droning, like, I would say almost mechanical sound, like a machine hum. Who knows? Alright, let's check this room out. Jeez. You know, when I look at places like this, I always think about, like, this would be a level in an old, like, shooter, like Halo or something. Like a room like this. Of course, you probably have more or more structures in the middle, but it's more just the visuals that make me think that. Like the texture and everything. Anyways. Stop. Do not go to the sky door. Like a Super Mario 64 painting. Jump through it. That's cool. Another great track. Great track of music playing. Music track. Whatever. Ooh, look at that wall. Got fish on it. Seashells. Starfish. Nice. This looks cool. I've probably said that like 10 times now, but this game looks pretty cool. Alright, here we go. Oh, my leg! Go that way, but what's over here in the red area? I know it said it teased. Okay, we can't even go in there. There's an invisible wall. Might tease an upcoming level, or level 2. I don't know what it means by that. God, look at the size of that tunnel. Just makes me think like it was built for something big to walk through it, and it like creeps me out, man. What is it? A giant person? Monster? The heating and air conditioning in a place like this would be a nightmare. Whoa, there's a ducky. It's a big ducky. Oh man, we can't go up there. Darn. I like the spiral staircase though. Whoa, cool. Alright, let's go this way. A door or something. This looks different. Oh, I see grass. Community swimming pool. No running by the pool. No alcohol and no swimming. You hear that? Oh, cool. Look at that. That looks neat. I like this. Very different. But I'm not going to run by the pool. Something actually happened to me if I do. That'd be kind of funny. Running by the pool. The Mario pipe in the ceiling. Okay, there's a door. Man. These are like, almost like cardboard little skyscrapers. It's just really cool. That's my word of the day, I guess. Cool. Anyways, that was a nice little breakup of the environment there. That makes sense. Here we go. Oh, goodness gracious. That guy's way up there. Uh-oh. Ooh, my gosh. I almost got chills for some reason. There's something really spooky about this. The noise. Well, we could fall, but I don't know. It's an invisible wall. We can't. There's water down there. Oh my gosh, dude. The scale of this is crazy. Oh, I couldn't find a way out, so I jumped. Oh no! Oh man. I wonder if he lived. He just smashes into the bottom. It's like my legs are broken, but I'm still alive. That's messed up, but that's just I think about that kind of weird stuff sometimes. Don't do it. Don't jump. Is that a vocal, like, groan? Or was that just a... Dang, dude. I don't know why I'm so, like, fascinated by that. It's just really cool. It's really awesome. Oh my goodness. Nice. Let's keep exploring. Thought you'd trick me with the water. I want to run around the top side. Hiya. What the heck was that? Oh no. Was he in the water? I don't know if we should get any closer. Okay. That was creepy. Like a brain eyeball looking thing. The alien from the UFO, maybe. Or maybe something they had on board. Alright, we're back here. We're gonna go into this giant door, or opening. Hiya! Hiya! Is that it? I guess that's it, right? Okay. Let's go. Oh. This is some Halo right here. Ooh, this is cool. Why do I keep saying that? I mean, it is cool, but I keep saying it. I just... Anyways, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're having a good time. Awesome music. Love it. Amazing. Wonderful. Marvelous. Oh. That's the thing. It was looking at us again. Oh no. Why is it just watching us? Hey. I like this too. This is very like industrial. Is there a doorway over there? No? Okay. Who's down there? A red door. Oh! Thank you for playing the Poolscape demo. You're welcome. Well, I would say I'm back in the main menu, but there isn't one, so we're just here chilling in the Sky Pool area, the hub area. And if you're just here for the gameplay, I appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you again. But now I'm going to review the demo and tell you about what I experienced and what I thought about it. I'm going to start with the visuals, and I would say visually the game is great. Generally speaking, there's a lot of PSX-style games out there, probably too many, but the fact that this is a liminal space game, using this aesthetic, I think works really well. I don't see this kind of game very often, almost never, and I look around through games like almost all the time, probably too much. I overwhelm myself. Anyways, liminal space games, like I said earlier in the video, are generally hyper-realistic, photorealistic. They're going for some kind of realism, and that's like I said, in a very general sense. Some of the more popular liminal space games are very much photorealistic, or at least going for some kind of realism, which I think is good, because generally speaking, when we think about liminal spaces and just the whole culture of liminal spaces, it's a reflection of reality, but there's something off about it. There's something familiar yet unsettling about it. So making it as realistic as possible tends to make it more effective in that regard. However, I really enjoy seeing these liminal spaces or a liminal space sort of aesthetic with this graphic style. I think it's unique, and I think it really stands out. It's very cozy, also still eerie with some of the design choices you had throughout the demo, at least in the level we played. So I think visually across the board, it's pretty solid. I quite liked it a lot, and I think the PSX style really goes well with liminal spaces, actually. And maybe it's just the right time for me to play this, because like I said, I've played a lot of very photorealistic liminal space games, so this is just the right amount of different that I think I really needed. So great job with the visuals all the way around. I like the use of lighting and color. I like the way the water looks, and I think it's very authentic, like PSX retro aesthetic, and I actually think it melds really well with the liminal space experience, at least from what we've played so far in this game. Even the addition of having some different colored water and some kind of alien type creature lurking around and watching us, all of that was just very nice, and I think you executed the visuals very well. Now, in terms of audio, just standing here in the hub area, we have some wind that we hear that conveys that we're either really, really high up or that we're just in this ever expansive area, giving this sense of isolation, which I think is really nice. And throughout the game or level that we played, it was a lot of very nice ambient music. It was different from each location that we saw previously, and I think really matched the vibe and really lifted up the overall atmosphere of this game and its immersion. So overall, really solid job with that. I thought those music tracks or ambient tracks were very appropriate and really well done. Like I say in a lot of my reviews that maybe lack in terms of ambience, a little bit really does go a long way, of course, in my opinion, but I just think of the way things you chose and where you implemented them and knew how to make the game quiet when it needed to be, and then as you got to new key locations, you'd have some new ambience kick in. Very well paced in terms of audio design and overall ambience, and I think you did a great job with that. Of course, we have footsteps of us just walking around on tile or whatever, and then walking through the water, either it's shallow water or deep water, and I think that worked really well also. So great attention to detail there. And the fact that you just really let the environment shine while just giving us enough ambience, I think was very well executed. So I would say the audio is really good. In terms of mechanics, it's mostly a walking simulator, more or less. You just walk around and explore and make your way through each of these levels. And I think that's great. I think liminal space games are probably the most effective when there's not puzzles to distract you or monsters chasing you. And I'm not saying those things can't work in liminal space games. They generally do work. Sometimes they don't, but it really depends on their presentation and their timing and just overall the design philosophy, at least. So the fact that there isn't much going on in this game other than exploring isn't an issue in my eyes. I think it works really well, and liminal space games, I think, are most effective when you're able to just soak in the environment, make your way through the levels, explore, and just wonder and think about what you're doing and where you are. So this game does that really well. It lets me just enjoy my experience as I walk through, not get too distracted, not get rushed through it by being chased by something, or, well, I need to just focus more on putting keys together or doing something else other than exploring the liminal space that we're in. And I'm glad that you made that the focus for your game. Now, if you have things like that planned in the future levels, I think it's going to be totally fine. Like, because you have a monster thing kind of lurking and watching us. We heard something breathing in one area, and I think all that is fine. Having horror elements and whatnot throughout is totally fine. Like I said, though, it's all about how you implement them and what your design philosophy is. Do you want it to be more exploration, semi-linear liminal space game, or do you want it to have some jump scares or whatever? And I'm really curious to see what you have in store, because I think for what you presented so far mechanically is really solid. So great job there. And I just really enjoy the semi-linear nature of it. I guess you can't get lost in a game like this, at least so far. But I think that's fine. I think having a direct, concise experience in the liminal space genre is a welcome sight. So great job. Now, in terms of story and concept, I don't think there's really any story necessarily, unless I'm mistaken. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just a liminal space game where you explore these different levels, and I think that's fine. There doesn't really need to be a big overarching story that connects all of these things and whatnot. I mean, there's already backrooms lore and whatnot for each of the levels that may have inspired what you're doing here. So there's that. But even though there's no story, I think it's a very enjoyable experience. And conceptually, I think it's a really solid subversion of liminal spaces, if that's the right word I'm looking for here, where, like I said, you generally see photorealism being a big part of the liminal space genre, but really like what you're doing with the PSX approach, making it feel like this retro, dream-like experience where, like I said, you can play on the nostalgia that liminal spaces use against us, but also the nostalgia of the retro style graphics that you're using. And I think it's a nice blend. So conceptually, I would say the game is really solid. In terms of performance and settings, the game performs wonderfully. I had no problems with the performance whatsoever. It's very smooth and it's very nice. So great job with that. And the settings are right here. We'll go over those as well. So for video settings, you have your window mode, which, you have your different choices of that. Your resolutions, your resolution scale, your VSync. It says the FPS limit setting is disabled while VSync is active. You have your show FPS, which will be in the top right. So pretty good stuff there. And then of course here I like this little detail where you can highlight these exclamation points to show you or tell you what these options actually do. So that's a nice touch. And you can scroll down a little bit here to your image calibration for your brightness, your gamma. And then your accessibility mode here is your colorblind modes. So that's always nice to see. And then for audio, you have your overall audio, you have your music volume, your sound effects, ambience, and user interface volume. So great choices there. I would say the volume mixing for my experience is pretty solid. Music volume was on half by default, by the way. So you come into this and you really want to crank it up, make sure you turn that up for yourself. And then for controls, you have your mouse look sensitivity, you have your invert mouse look X, your invert mouse look Y, move forward, backwards, left, right. And it looks like you can rebind these, so that's great. So let's say if I do this. Okay, sure. If I do F, yeah, okay, you can rebind them, so that's great. So like I said, the performance is really good, and I think all the settings are acceptable. I don't think there's anything missing that would be needed, because sound design across the board is, I think, well done, and no issues with the performance, so overall, I would say the performance is really good and the settings are very acceptable. So my final judgment for the Poolscape demo is I would say it's an excellent game. It's a wonderful first impression. The overall experience I think is really nice. Visually, it's unique and I think works really well in the liminal space genre. I was actually kind of hesitant if it would convey the right kind of mood and feeling, and I think it did a really good job. And the audio design was really well done and timed well with the use of ambience and the different tones of music, and overall atmosphere really excelled because of that. So great job. Mechanically, while it's just walking around and exploring, I think that's totally acceptable, and I think it works really well in the liminal space genre. We don't need a whole bunch of gewgaws and distracting things all over the place in every liminal space game. If you, like I said, plan on doing some more horror elements or unique events and things like that in the future, I think it'll work totally fine. Stick to your vision, do what you want to do. So I'm excited to see what you have in store for sure. Like I said, though, don't overthink it and add so much that it distracts away from your original intent of what you want the player to experience. But like I said, it's all up to you, so best of luck to you with that. And while there is no story, the game's concept I think is really cool, and it's just very cozy, and I really like it a lot. Performance across the board is super solid, and I think the settings totally acceptable. So awesome job all the way around. This really surprised me in a lot of ways. Like I said, I didn't know if the visuals would really work for me in the liminal space sort of environment, but I actually was quite impressed by this, and I had a really good time with it. And I'm really glad I played it, and like I said, I'm very excited to see what you have in store for the future levels, and I think you're going to do really good with this, and I hope more people play this. I hope they see my video, or more people talk about this, and spread the word and check the game out for themselves. So I think this is really solid. So best of luck to you on your future endeavors and your work. Tell me what you think in the comments below. What are your thoughts on this game? Do you agree or disagree with me? Do you have anything to add? Do you just want to say hi? Let me know what's up. And don't forget to check the pinned comment below for the links to everything, and go play this game for yourself and form your own opinion. If you'd like to support my channel, hit subscribe, leave a like, comment, and share the video. I'd greatly appreciate that. And I thank you for watching my video. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I think that's all I have to say about it. So thanks for hanging out with me, and don't forget, the real Moth is always